What up? It's been a long time since I actually uploaded a video or done one, and I've been going through my own transitional periods and different things of that nature, trying to figure things out. Um, I also have two daughters in which I opted towards homeschooling. So I had to put a lot of time into that. And when you're putting time into self and time into things that matter, you really don't have time for anything outside of that. And in the process of that, I also came to a lot of realizations. So it's a lot of things that I've learned to let go of, or I really don't care too much about, because I guess when you start to see the totality of everything, you tend to just let flow. I mean, in your heart, when time comes for certain things to occur, that you will do what is necessary or what is right to be able to help others. But in the process, over the big picture, I can't find it in myself to sit there and stress. I mean, as you can see, you said if you sit there and you stress about a lot of these things that's going on, you miss the birds singing. You hear that? You hear the birds singing? I'm in TX right now, and since I've been on, the true positive thinking and positive projecting, I believe in the beginning I was in the process of finding myself and understanding, because I felt that I could not actually do anything without understanding why I was doing what I was doing. Because just to sit there and do anything without understanding the purpose of what you're doing is, to me, idiocy. But that's just me. So once I found myself in understanding the spiritual side of myself, in the spiritual laws and the rules in which things flow, it made it a lot easier to do a lot of the things, understanding that everything is a learning tool. And no matter what you're going through in your life, like, this is the most important part. No matter what you're going through in your life, no matter how bad you think it seems, try to see the positive in it and keep a positive aspect or positive thought on the process. Now, I feel the wind blowing. Now, I don't know how much that's going to affect the mic and the sound quality, but overall, when you're in a negative situation, see the positive in it, because you're experiencing this for a certain reason. And in order to pass the test, you can't worry about it. You just can't worry about it, because whatever's gonna happen is going to happen. I have learned these lessons in the last 4 or 5 months, and just allowing things to flow. I mean, you're not just going with the flow. You're not just, blowing in the wind. I'm not telling you to do that. But what I'm saying is, when you're going with the flow, is you're headed in a certain direction. And while you're headed in that direction that you're going in, go with the flow of whatever happens while you're headed towards your goal. And that's what I'm learning. So it's like, right now I'm trying to accumulate enough money to begin to start my own business, so that I can help people on a spiritual level and help them understand spiritual rules and how different things may help you, like sage crystals and different things like that. And the first thing people got to understand is, I'm not saying that these crystals or using these things is God. What I'm saying is they're tools. Like, you know, you go into a church and you may see someone wearing a cross. That's a tool for them dealing with spirituality. Or you might see them use holy water. That's a tool for them using spirituality. And all these things are useful on all levels, because you got to have a 360 understanding of everything. So you can't just sit there and say, oh, this person's way, this is how we do it and we make it happen. Good for you. So that makes it impossible for you to go out and learn the way another person lives and respect the way they also deal with spirituality. You never know, you might need a combination of the two one day to deal with a situation. It's like, yeah, I can use a little of this and then I can use a little of that, and bam, I made it happen. So when it comes to people and their religions and all of that stuff, I have full respect for it, because they're all going for the same goal. I mean, when the core of it, the people who go there for the uplifting and what they're going there to get, the true purpose of what they're searching for. I'm not talking about all the political and, you know, the backwards way of doing things and the controlling and the mind and the manipulation and all of that stuff. I'm not talking about that, because that exists within, you know, the religion and different things that exist in that core. But for the true honestness of it, you know, the purity of it and what it's going for, I feel like that should be understood. And while you're doing that, you know, you keeping an open mind, or keeping an open mind, be aware to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in with anything that goes against who you are at the core of you, because you're here to experience life on a certain level that is not mine. So I'm not saying that everybody should reach to be on my, reach to be on your own level, so that you know who you are, where you're coming from, and what you're doing. And I'll give you a few things that I've learned previously real quick, and I'm gonna wrap the video up. But you know, I started with the whole we are part of God imagination, which actually boils down to all, you know, all is one, and we're simply experiencing from different perspectives. But okay, while looking at a blade of grass and sitting outside watching a blade of grass, you know, I'm sorry, I still think to myself, or I was thinking to myself at that time, what is the point of your existence? What is the point of even being? Why even be a blade of grass? Why? And the answer I received from that is, it's the beauty of the idea. No matter how beautiful or ugly something is, it's the beauty of the idea. So that explains why someone like Hitler could exist, or someone like Gandhi could exist. You know what I'm saying? From both ends of the scale. This explains this, because it's not about right or wrong, it's about the beauty of the idea. Because everyone thinks an idea or has a thought of some kind at some point, and it affects you emotionally. Because if you sat there and you thought about going somewhere and killing someone for no apparent reason, in your mind, you're gonna go either one or the other way. You're either gonna feel really bad about it, because you're gonna think about that person's family, all that bull, and everything that goes along with that, or you're gonna think about all the bull that comes along with actually getting enjoyment out of it, or whether you should even call it bull. It doesn't even matter. But out of all that, I have a certain goal, I'm heading in a certain direction, and I know what I'm going for. And now that I feel like I found myself and I understand things on a higher level, or a better level, I'm able to live life and do things knowing that the outcome is always going to be on the best level. It doesn't matter what negative it is, it still comes out on the positive. Because within that, I learned a lesson, but also it made me a stronger person. And if that is part of my experience to live life and to go through certain hurdles and certain things, then I guess when they come at you, what you're meant to do is conquer them. Don't just give up, conquer them. And try to understand why you're going through something and how it's going to benefit you. Because if it's not going to benefit you, this is going to benefit someone else. And I feel like at this point, you know, there's a large awakening happening. People waking up on different levels. And everybody signed up. So I feel like I don't worry about that. I feel like at the right time, people will begin to spark and wake up on different levels faster and faster and faster until eventually there is a mass change. Because it comes down to what the people want. And if the people want it a certain way, they'll give it to you a certain way. But if we keep wanting it like this, we keep thinking like this, we keep acting like this, then it will continue to be this capitalistic experience to where it's all about who can get what and get this. But in the meantime, I'm like, okay, I could either be a slave or I can own my own business and own slaves. But the only difference is I know how I feel to be a slave, so I wouldn't treat them that certain way. We all run the business. It's all about equal shares. So everybody being equal upon the business, everybody taking on the equal load, the equal stress of dealing with the business, and keeping it like that, where you know something you can build on, where people feel like they're actually a part of something. They're not just working for something. Because when you're working for something, you don't go the extra mile. But when you know this something is like really putting food on the table, is really helping people, is really, you know what I'm saying? But this is a part of my experience. I'm not saying this is a part of someone else's experience, because it would be totally different. Somebody else might be here just to be a murderer. And you gotta respect it, because that was the way they was created. So they're not gonna be happy until they end up in that situation. But I feel like at heart, none of that could actually take place if we all stood together and we all came together as one big family, instead of feeling separated by the states you live in and the creeds they go by in each state and all that bull. Because like I said, at the core, we all one. Everything is one. There's nothing separate from or apart from anything else. All you can do is stay positive, have love in your heart, and have love and compassion for others, because they're simply a duplicate of you and me, and I'm simply a duplicate of another. We're all the same thing, all the same being, experiencing from different perspectives. So that's kind of what I've been up to and enjoying life. I'm in the big TX right now, you know what I'm saying, and everything has been wonderful. Oh, if you have a question, that's one thing I forgot to mention. If you have a question, that's something that you want to know, you have to focus on that one question. That's something I learned, because scattered energy brings you nothing. You can be thinking about all the things in the world, but if you truly want to know something, through meditation, focusing on the question, I begin to get answers back. So now I really don't look into too many spiritual videos. I don't go to too many websites and try to find more information. I'm finally beginning able to look within myself and get the answers that I'm looking for. And that's something that I feel the greatest about, that I've come at. So I believe that it's about mastering self. And once you're able to master self, then you can get the answers out of yourself and what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? I can sit there and look at something and have a real question about it, focus on that, and get an answer that actually makes sense. Because remember, when you break something down to the protons and neutrons, they blink in and out of existence. So nothing really exists. So welcome to the imagination. Welcome to the dream. Nothing like the American dream, but definitely welcome to the dream.